Hey everybody, welcome back to Mondays with Michaela. This week, we're going to take a break from the series and I want to talk about a really good investment book that I recently read. I know I throw in book recommendations every once in a while. My dad always told me growing up that readers are leaders, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. So the book that I recently read is called The Holy Grail of Investing by Tony Robbins. I think this is a really good book and very topical for right now, just because the market has been doing, by and large, the last 3 years spectacular. We certainly had our ups and downs, but I think that people should start, even young professionals, retirees, everybody in between should really be thinking about rebalancing and their diversification in their portfolio. And this Holy Grail of Investing book basically interviews some of the most successful billionaires and hedge fund managers around the world about what their investment strategy is. And I won't give it all away, but I could summarize it by saying having 8 to 12 non-correlated investments in a portfolio usually reduces downside exposure by 80%. And so when people think of reducing their risk, you think of maybe safety as in cash or pulling money out of the market. But what you'll find with a lot of these big fund managers is that what they actually do is they just invest in more things that are non-correlated to each other. So I think it's really interesting because it talks about some of those sectors. I know we do a lot with our folks in energy. That was a big part of the book. So I would highly recommend giving it a read. I think it's really interesting just to see how those people's brains work, because obviously they're doing something right. In a little bit different situations, of course, more zeros and more commas for them, but the fundamentals of the investment strategy, and I think maybe how we should think about money just a little bit differently as we head into what I think will probably be a little bit different. The next 3 years will certainly be different from the last three. So I would highly recommend giving it a read. I think it will maybe allow people to get a little bit defensive, a little bit proactive, and provide some insight on the best ways to do that. All right, guys, tune in next week and we'll talk soon. Bye.